Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. Okay, so anyway, today is my May wrap-up. Now, I have not done a wrap-up on this channel in a really, really long time. But, like, I've been sitting around thinking about Booktube and who I watch on Booktube and all this kind of stuff. And I always make these videos, and I think, like, well, they're not very intellectual, they're not very esoteric, like, I should be, like, deeply philosophical talking about these books. But to be really honest with you, there are some books that I read that I feel like I want to be deeply intellectual about, or I want to be, like, really philosophical and have, like, a deep, meaningful conversation. But the reality is that my love of reading has always been and started with my just wanting to escape real life, or wanting to escape into another world, not because necessarily my life is hell, because I have an amazing life. I love my life, but to read about other worlds as well and to meet new people as characters in reading, like, I love that. So sometimes it's not super deep for me. And so then I was thinking about, because I just had my 3-year anniversary on Booktube, I was thinking about, like, what I got on Booktube to do originally, and I think that at any given time, like most Booktubers, kind of struggle with this. You know, they struggle with, like, well, I started Booktube over here, and this is what I did, and now this is who I've become, and I don't really, like, you know, a lot of people start, do you hear my dogs? They're literally, like, Boo and Tucker are just, like, running up and down, and, like, they just play all day long. So anyway, you know, I think a lot of Booktubers start off and they're like, they think hauls and review, well, most people don't even like to do reviews. So hauls, book tags, and what else? Like wrap-ups, TBRs, things like that. And then I think as you're on Booktube for a while, it's like you kind of get away from that, and it's like you don't really enjoy doing it anymore. But, like, I've always enjoyed doing it all along. I don't know, like, I don't talk to a lot of other Booktubers about this, and that's one of the things. It's like, I don't really know, like, when I first got on Booktube, like, I reached out to a lot of people, and, like, a lot of people didn't reach out to me, but, like, I reached out to a lot of people and wanting to do, like, buddy reads and stuff, and I've kind of slowed down on that a lot. And I really want to be more part of the Booktube community, and I don't even really know what to do to get there, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I'm sure there's some Booktubers out there that relate to that. It's like, I want to be more part of it. I want to have more friends in the Booktube community, but I don't really know what to do to get there. So, anyway, yes, this is my wrap-up for May, but since I only read 3 books, I've got some other things to say. So, I don't know. I think you get to a point where you're kind of like, okay, so what's next for my channel? Well, I got on Booktube because I liked the hauls. I liked watching them. You know, one of the reasons why I love Kayla at Books and Lala is because she has really never, like, deviated from what she started doing originally. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? And she does some really cool videos. I remember, like, one of my favorite videos of hers where her, like, husband, like, picks out her books for her at the bookstore. Like, I love that video. You know, she's done a lot of different kinds of videos, but they're all centered around basically this love of reading. Not, like, you know, having all these, like, where I feel like I need to have this philosophical conversation about a book that I'm reading, and sometimes I do, but sometimes I just want to read for the sake of reading. I don't know. Am I the only one out there that doesn't want to dissect a book? That sometimes you just want to read because you want to read? So, I've really struggled the last couple months, and I'm like, I want to get back to doing, like, TBRs, and at least for me, because when I do a TBR, it kind of sets in my head a plan for what I'm going to read that month. I want to do more hauls. I haven't done a haul in forever. I have a bunch of books that people sent me and a bunch of books that I've read, or that I bought. I have a bunch of audiobooks, so I have enough to do a haul with, and then some. You know, I want to do more tag videos. I miss those. I want to do more wrap-ups at the end of the month. I miss doing the videos that I did when I first got on here. Even though if those aren't the most popular videos anymore, I don't really care. I miss seeing that. I have to say, I also love seeing the videos from people that are trying really, really new things, because that inspires me to think different and to do other things. This has not been a great reading year for me. You know, I mean, it's June 3rd today, and I am, is it June 3rd? June 2nd? I think it's June 3rd. And I am at 15 books, when my goal was 100. But I'm going to catch up. I always say this, but I'm going to catch up. Tomorrow I'm going to do my TBR for June, because I have my books all laid out, and I feel like I need to do that this summer. I don't know. Do any of you else out there, if you're Booktubers, Bookstagrammers, book bloggers, do you struggle at all? Like, and how things have changed for you over time? Like, I mean, if I look back at who I was as a reader 20 years ago, it's definitely not the same as who I am as a reader today. But, you know, like, I don't know. I enjoy watching all kinds of videos, but as far as making them, I miss making the videos that I actually got on Booktube to make, which is corny. But those were the hauls. Those were the, you know, the tag. I love doing tag videos, you know? And so anyway, I don't know what I'm saying, but that's why I'm doing a May wrap-up. So let's get into the May wrap-up, shall we? Now, I have done reviews on all of these books because I'm trying to do a review of every book that I read in 2019, like I did in 2018. The first book that I read this month is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I gave the book 5 stars. Now, if you went and you watched my review, I said that The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was probably one of the best books, if not the best book that I've read in the last 5 years. I was so taken with the story. I was so taken with the purpose. Like, here I say that I'm not going to have this intellectual conversation. It's an important book, and I think that's one of the things that I've seen is missed a lot. I've seen it in a few reviews and a few discussions about it, but like, I would say in mainstream reviews about it, like, you know, I don't know, in magazines and things that I've seen, when people are talking about it, they're just like, this is like the summer book to read, or this is the book of 2019. It is all that, but it's a very important book to read. Like, just as far as experiencing something, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but historically, it's a really important book to read. And I don't know, I just was taken by everything with it. I thought it was so beautifully done. Now, I haven't read her next book, Daisy something, I don't know what it's called, but I've heard so many mixed reviews about it. I already bought it for Audible, and I am going to read that. Then the next book that I got was Devouring Gray by Christine Lynn Herman. I also did a review of that. I was really excited to read this book because so many people on Booktube were talking about it. I did not necessarily have the same response to that as everybody else did. I gave it 4 stars. I have to say that after having kind of like sat on my review for a couple days, I probably would give it like a 3.5, honestly. It's kind of like gone down for me a little bit. I didn't dislike it. I will definitely read the next one in the series because I liked the characters, but I thought the characters were flat. I liked that, like, it was very moody. I don't know, maybe it would have been better for me if I read it, like, maybe in the fall. Like, it definitely was, like, a fall book. And I think that I also went into it with such high expectations because everybody was talking about it. I didn't dislike the book. I just didn't understand the hype. That was what I don't understand about it. I mean, it just was good. It was just okay. It just wasn't, I mean, it wasn't a fail, but it was also, to me, not, like, a huge success. So, anyway, that was my review of that. And then we just read for Peter's Book Club. We're doing a year of true crime, if you didn't know. We just read Lost Girls, an Unsolved American Mystery by Robert Kolker. I gave it 2 stars. It was horrible, you guys. It was so bad, okay? And the thing is, I gave it 2 stars for the research because I feel like anybody that puts that much time and effort into writing a book, and he did do such fantastic investigative journalism, but it just wasn't put together in the novel well at all. And I got some really interesting comments on the video review that I did of it. A lot of people said that he didn't feel like he paid any kind of like homage to the victim. And I have to say that's true. Like, you know, in retrospect, thinking about the book, it's like, because if you don't know what it's about the Long Island serial killer who killed online prostitutes. And the thing is, you hear their stories about how they got where they got, but there was really no redemption for the victims or their families. It just kind of was like, here is what it is. But the thing is that it brings you in so much emotionally that it's hard to read it and be like, you can't have any kind of emotionality attached to it. I have to say, as a reader of that book, I definitely had attachments to the characters and to some of their family members. You know, I mean, even after the deaths had occurred, you know, there were people in the book that were like greatly affected by it. And I thought there was like this whole storyline. And that, for me, I've been sober for 24 years, you know, the whole world of drugs and alcohol addiction and recovery is very important to me. I'm very passionate about it. There was this whole kind of storyline that went along that you really don't kind of know what happens at the end of it. It was very sad, you know? And he didn't really address any of that in the book as well. So there were so many, to me, loose ends. I feel like he had so much that he didn't really know what to do with it in his defense. I think, like, they're making this book into a Netflix series or a Netflix movie. I know they're filming for that. I read an article about it. There was just, you could have gone in 50 different directions. I think, honestly, you know, if he had just picked maybe one character to go with and then talked about the other ones as far as being part of the whole story, but to just talk about all of them, the boyfriends, the parents, the grandparents, the work, all of it. I mean, there were so many different storylines to this that it was really, really hard to follow. And if you read it, I have a hard time believing that you would disagree with that. Did I think that parts of it were really interesting to me? Sure, I thought it was really interesting to me. There was a whole discussion about how in New York City and the East Coast, Craigslist and online escort ads has basically just taken away street prostitution in a way that police could never, like, you know, do that. So it's interesting. It's interesting to me. There's really no discussion about this, like, there's discussion about them being prostitutes, but there's really not any kind of, like, educational value to the discussion of sex workers in our society, which I think is sad, and I would say needed in this book. Like, I think it really needed to be there, especially if the majority of what you're going to be talking about is people in the sex worker industry. And maybe coming from a more compassionate point of view than he did of how they ended up there. It was just kind of facts, you know? But then there was emotionality mixed with facts, and it just was very confusing to me. So I did not love the book. Now, in June, we are reading the Killer Clown about John Wayne Gacy. Somebody commented on my last video. It cracked me up so bad. Was it a comment or was it a tweet that I got? Somebody said, I can't read about no scary clowns. And I was like, listen, it's not, well, it is kind of about the scariest clown in the world, John Wayne Gacy. So we're reading about John Wayne Gacy. I've heard the book is fantastic. I am currently reading or listening to on Audible Brave Face by Sean David Hutchinson. It's his memoir. It is fantastic, you guys. I'm loving it. It reminds me a lot of my own story of coming out, so, and kind of coming to terms with my life. So, if you haven't read it and you loved Sean David Hutchinson, or you like him, who wrote We Are the Ants and The Edge of the Universe, you should go check it out. And then after I finish that, I think I have 2 hours left, I'm going to start reading Killer Clown, so I can get it done early. Because last month, I didn't finish the book in time for the live stream, but I don't know that it really would have mattered with that one. So, from going forward, I'm going to have them done in time, and or done way early. And if you'd like to hear what else I'm going to read, stay tuned for tomorrow, because I got some exciting reads this month. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.